Hi, welcome back to Wine Mastery, and we're going to taste another wine from Chile. It's been a while actually since we've tasted a wine from Chile.
I was struggling to think when we had last had one from Chile.
I think it's been a fair few months, and Chile is such fantastic value.
It is, yeah. You can't beat Chile.
We should be trying more. Anyway, this one is a Grand Reserva. Very, very, very impressive title.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
Grand Reserva Merlot, and we're going to taste it now. So, here's the bottle. So this is Felipe Edwards. I said Felipe Edwards. Edwards is quite a British name, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And it's Chile, and you expect it to be Spanish. I mean, Felipe is obviously Spanish.
A little an integration there.
Yeah. Well,
it's something we should have known really before.
Well, perhaps I should have done some research.
Well, you know.
Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, it is. Have I said the price? No. Now this is the price, $9.99. So that's I'm thinking Grand Reserva. It's not just a Reserva. It's not just a Merlot. Yep. It's not just it's a Grand Reserva. So big expectations, but for $9.99.
That's how it sounds too good to be true. $9.99 for a Grand Reserva. That's if I saw something like that on the shelf, I'd whip that off. I'd be like, Grand Reserva, $9.99, tenner less, just a penny less. I know that upsets John. I'd be having that straight off. So and now, we've got it. So I'm excited to see what it's going to offer us for that money.
And it is 2020. Let's say 2021. I guess that's the Southern Hemisphere. So it's like grows across the years, doesn't it?
I would.
Because we start
of course, yes.
Down there. It's like September's the beginning of their spring, and
I should never question him. I know he knows what he's talking about.
Sometimes,
but that again, even that is a good bit of aging.
It is, yeah.
For a tenner.
It is for a tenner.
So
let's have a look at the colour.
We know what we're doing here. Oh, that's moving on
deep,
to the
isn't it? It's deep.
That's moving on to the garnet world.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, there looks like there's a lot of body in that.
It does. Looks rich, looks delicious, looks inviting.
It does. That immediately sort of says, I've got something here for you.
And again, tenner.
Yeah, $9.99, penny change.
Sorry, John.
So we'll have a go on the nose.
Let's have a go on the nose.
Oh, wow. That came at me quite strongly then.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what came. Cherry. I always get cherry.
Yeah, there's definitely cherry in there. It's a black cherry.
Yeah.
It's also something hiding under there, and I think it's a little bit tobacco-y.
Well, actually, no, you said that.
It's not.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But it's not Merlot.
No.
It's not.
No, that, for me, if I had to make a guess, and I'm not very good at blind tasting, I would have gone Malbec.
100%, I agree. That's almost got all the stereotypical characteristics of.
I know you can't smell tannin as such, but whatever that is, it makes me think there's going to be tannin in there.
Yeah, it's sometimes when you smell a white wine, you think it smells sweet, but you can't smell sweet as such. There's something in there that's letting you know there's going to be tannins in there.
There must be an association that when I've smelt similar noses from other wines, there've been tannins.
The tannins then follow, yeah. I get that. So I think let's have a go on the palate.
Okay. I'm struggling to know whether I keep going, I'll say that's really nice. What is it? So the taste, when I first sort of put it in my mouth there, the taste was really, really quite strong, very nice, full on. And then the sort of tannins kicked in, and then it felt a little bit thin.
Right.
So that's why I was going through that. I was very like, oh, is it? Because it's like the taste thinned out very quickly.
I see what you mean. There's a hit of fruit there.
Yeah.
But the tannins don't give it a chance to develop properly.
No.
Just when you're thinking, oh, where's that going? The tannins come and give you a little slap.
Yeah.
And then there is something afterwards, but it's just not quite enough to carry it on. The tannins are almost like dulled it all the way down, so you just get this 10% of whatever flavour you got before, and you didn't really get that flavour before. However, this is actually quite a big meaty wine especially the initial part, it's fairly heavy. That's quite a heavy wine. And to produce that,
yeah,
for a tenner, $9.99.
That's true. It's 14.5% as well.
Oh, that's... yeah, saying that actually, you can, when feeling that animatic, that is a big wine. So, but, as you're trying, I don't think it's deeply complicated. I don't think it's, you can pick this, and that, and X, Y. It's quite, it has almost, it does what it says on the tin, addressed to it in that you got the big power, tannins, weighing off. So, but still not Merlot-esque, is it? The flavour's there.
No, it's not. It's not what I recognise as. I've said it'd be much softer and fruitier.
Plummy and earthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we always describe it as plummy and earthy, but they are the flavours that you generally would get, the plum and the earth. So that, the cherry and tobacco would suggest something else, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a bad wine at all. And I think if you had some food with that, I think that might improve that.
Well, should we go on to the pairing then?
Yeah.
So I think the first thing that comes to my mind is because it's so much like a Malbec, I'm immediately thinking steak. I'm thinking actually roast beef. And in the USA, I'm not sure. Because in the USA, I'm not sure if broiled is the same as roast beef. I'm not 100% sure. I've got some good friends in Florida, Tracy and Matt Halsey. I will ask them to explain the difference. But so for the USA viewers, we can talk more sensibly. But yeah, in the UK, we have a thing called a roast beef, which is a joint of beef, which is roasted in the oven and sort of crusty on the outside, slightly red on the inside, and that I think would go excellently with that. And that's just where I'd stop really.
Well, it's funny you should mention something like that and like a robust flavour, because I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm quickly flipping between, style, soft, hard, strong, and I would think, as boring as it sounds, a bit of cheddar.
It's just not boring.
I know it's not, but something like a just hunk of cheddar. Nothing more, nothing like something that's got a little bite about it, traditional style, full flavours, and I think they'd marry nicely.
I think the problem, again, coming back to the States, is that sort of cheddar in the States isn't quite the same as it is over here. It doesn't tend to have that same bite.
No.
It's smoother and
well, a lot of times
milder.
in the States, it's a lot. It's mainly pasteurised. I appreciate you can get unpasteurised cheeses in the States, but I think it's more difficult.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm really interested to know how many of you can get unpasteurised cheese or the availability over there, because I know when I've been, it's been very few and far between. So unpasteurised cheese, I'll put that right, brief, is cheese that has not been pasteurised. So they boil the milk before they make the cheese to 67 degrees, so it kills off all the bacteria. Keeping unpasteurised milk and making unpasteurised cheese, it becomes a lot more complex, a lot more going on, and develops a lot more, and so it gives you that bite, that bit that tickles under your gums, as opposed to being quite a one-dimensional cheese.
Yeah.
So I think a bit of cheddar with that, which again is it unusual for it? No. We're going cheddar.
We're going cheddar. Okay. So, should we move on to score, or should we cut it here, and should I see if I can get a little bit of cheddar so we can actually try that?
I've got some cheddar.
Yeah, but unfortunately it's not from you, so it might not be to your normal standards.
Let's cut it here and have a bit of cheddar.
Okay, we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so we're back. So we've got a little bit of cheese, we've recharged our glasses, and let's see what happens, yeah?
Yeah, and first thing I think we should mention here as well is, and I'm not putting this down for 1 minute.
It's supermarket cheese.
It's a pasteurised cheddar, because I think I did discuss having an unpasteurised cheddar, but cheese in general and the cheddar is what we're going for. So let's give it. Let's have a look. Let's go have a taste of the wine first, then come back to the cheese, because I think that might be doing that back to back is really quite an eye opener. Usually, he says with confidence. See the tannins. The tannins are the only thing. Looking back on this review and what we've said is everything's good. Although it's not very Merlot-esque. We did say more like a Malbec, which there's nothing wrong with that. $9.99 a bottle. The only thing that's really pulling this back for me is the tannins. So John said, why do I have a little bit of cheese? And I think this is going to be a really good experiment. I think we did this years and years ago, but I think this is going to be a fantastic little experiment. So all it takes, and you don't even need a cube that big, but something like just a little piece there. There we go. You know what? just as I've said many times, there's lots of snobbery involved in wine and cheese, and it shouldn't be there. I love cheese and I love wine, regardless of. So it's just none of them are bad. Some are just better than others. That's how simple it is. I mean, even just tasting that, an ordinary cheddar is still beautiful.
It is, and I do sense, obviously my cheese, so I know what it tastes like before. Having had that sip of wine first, this cheese tastes nicer than I recall it tasting.
Well, the compliments, as I've said many times, I do a lot of private cheese and wine tasting evenings, and honestly, it's magic. I've got hundreds of wines down the stairs. I've got 180 cheeses in my fridge. I'm putting these all together. Imagine the unlimited the combinations of those all put together. And that's why I've been at the shop for 29 years. I ain't got.
You're still working through. Still working through combinations.
But okay, so I've had the cheese now, and what you notice there's the waxy kind of not a bad way, waxy proteiny content which is hanging around there. So now, John, I am reckoning magic will be worked here. Have a taste of that. Fingers crossed the tannins should cancel out the protein in the cheese, should cancel out the tannins in that wine. Therefore, we should only pull out the nicer bits of the wine. So, fingers crossed. And I wasn't wrong.
Result.
Isn't it amazing how... I'm going to have to...
Yeah, I'm actually going to I'm going to taste it with actually cheese and wine at the same time.
Do it. Not just...
Well, that's incredible. So, eating the cheese first, and then swallowing that, and then just having the wine. It did actually, you say, took the tannins away. The fruit was more present. It was a much, much nicer wine. And then having the cheese in my mouth, chewing the cheese, and then mid-chew, so to speak, having the wine. The wine actually improved the taste of the cheese.
This is why wine and cheese has always been a fantastic combination. Years and years, wine and cheese and wine, cheese and wine. They just marry hand in hand so well together. It's times like this, John. I think I'm a very lucky boy.
I think also the benefit in terms of the French, and they have a lot of cheese, but it's actually with the red wine actually helps digest the cheese, so the fat isn't absorbed into the body in the same way if you don't have wine with it. So that's one of the reasons that they're healthier with cheese. Considering how much cheese they eat.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to live forever. But the difference there. But now this is really going to confuse. I'm going to confuse.
Yeah, it's going to make it difficult. I think that what we have to do is I can remember what it tasted like. So we have to score it as we would normally, and that's the score that we will judge it upon compared to other wines, because we don't normally do this.
Yeah.
But just as an example to you, we'll also say, well, actually, if we'd had cheese beforehand, so we'd had sort of a snack beforehand, and we came in and then we tried this, where would we have scored it? It just shows you the difference that depending on what's in your mouth beforehand has on your score. Okay, so are you ready to go?
I'm ready to give a score, I think.
So you're going to do.
I'm going to do pre-cheese. Shall I do the pre-cheese and then...
And then we come back, or whatever you want to do?
Yeah, let's do the pre-cheese. Right. So, pre-cheese, I was actually quite impressed with it. There's some things like it down, it didn't taste particularly like a Merlot, and tannins really high on there, but I thought the weightness they had, the aging that it's got on it, and the price, that would make me lean towards a nice score. Nothing too amazing, but I'd probably go for a nice There we go.
I'm going for 79.
78.
Okay.
78.
Right.
Let's go straight into it. So now after having the cheese, again, so the things that I didn't like about it was it didn't particularly taste like a Merlot, and the tannins. So the tannin bits had been taken out, didn't particularly taste like a Merlot, but I still enjoyed what it was. So personally now, I'm going to take that up to, it doesn't need to go wild, but I'm going to go for, There we go.
86.
85, John. I think the exact difference as well was what before and after cheese was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're 1 point out each.
Yeah, but consistently, for both cases. Yeah. Well, absolutely.
That was a good little...
Good little experiment, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, we probably should if I tell you what we're going to taste beforehand, we could maybe you could bring some proper cheese rather than supermarket cheese, and we could add a little bit of that to it as well. So, excellent. Well, for $9.99, good value. If you guys get a chance to try it, then please do, and let's have your comments about what you think about it. And if you get to try it with cheddar, let us know whether you think it's the ideal match. And so until next time, guys, we look forward to seeing you there, when we hope we will be enjoying some more wine and maybe some cheese.
Maybe.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.